What are you in for? What are you in for?
Let's talk about Skeleton Crew, another Star Wars show, another attempt to expand the universe, but at this point, it's not even worth it. Look, I'm not saying it's objectively bad, and I'm sure some people, especially younger audience, will enjoy it, but let's be real, the show is useless in the grand scheme of the whole storyline. It doesn't contribute to the overarching story. It doesn't introduce any new, truly meaningful characters, and it just feels like another way Disney Plus is content dropping designed to keep people subscribed rather than genuinely excited about Star Wars. We just used to get hyped for new Star Wars releases. Now it just feels like there's another show right around the corner, but none of them really matter. So let's break this down. Why does Skeleton Crew feel so unnecessary? What's the real problem with modern Star Wars? And more importantly, how can we fix this? First off, let's acknowledge the obvious. Skeleton Crew isn't bad in the way the Acolyte is. Not some offensive lore breakingness. It's just pointless. It's a kid's adventure show in the Star Wars universe. Think Goonies in space, but without any real weight to it. Jude Law is cool, I guess. The idea of expanding the galaxy is cool, but here's the issue. None of this matters to the grand story at all. These kids are lost in a galaxy trying to find their way home, but does that actually add anything to Star Wars saga? No, it doesn't. And the thing is, none of this is going to connect to any other shows or anything at all, because they're just creating this and the writers aren't connected at all with all the shows. They have free will to do whatever they want. There's no roof above these writers and directors. Star Wars is at its best when it's focused on big, important characters. The Skywalkers, the Sith, the Mandalorians, the Clone Wars, the Empire versus the Rebellion. We care about those things because they're the foundation of this universe, but Disney has been obsessed with pumping out more and more shows just to expand the galaxy and make money without strengthening what's already there. Would A New Hope have been as good if they constantly cut away to random unrelated side stories? No, it wouldn't. It would devalue the movie. The galaxy felt massive because we only saw parts of what actually mattered. Skeleton Crew? It just feels like filler. This is where we get to the real issue with Star Wars under Disney. They're devaluing their own content by prioritizing quantity over quality. They're definitely not prioritizing quality. Let's look at what's happening with Disney stock. Look at how people feel about Marvel and Star Wars right now. They're their two biggest franchises, and there's no faith anymore. The passion from fans is gone. And why? Is because they've given us too much, too fast, and the quality isn't there anymore. Think about this. Imagine if The Mandalorian Season 1 was a movie, and they had built the hype, kept things mysterious, and dropped a 2-hour cinematic masterpiece about Mando and Grogu. Would have been legendary. They would have cut out all the filler stuff in Mando 1, and already it was a great season, and I loved it. But if we cut that out, it would have been so much better. Then, a couple of years later, we got The Mandalorian Season 2 as a movie. And having a movie is so much better. We don't need every question answered. We don't need to see every aspect of the show and all of that. The filler isn't necessary. Less is more. We get Mandalorian Season 2 as a movie. Instead of rushing through the story with unnecessary side plots and diluting Mando's character, Book of Boba Fett, and The Mandalorian Season 3, we would have had a focused story that actually meant something. When Mando reunited with Grogu in Book of Boba Fett, that was so agenda'd because Grogu is what makes them money. He was never originally supposed to go back with Mando, but they did it because they wanted the money. They ruined his story just for a paycheck. And that's what's ruining the trust, and that's what they need to move past this all. Then after that, we got Kenobi, another poorly written, poorly paced, and without Reva overshadowing Obi-Wan's story and the Book of Boba Fett. And then that one needs to be rewritten and actually make Boba Fett cool again and wear his helmet maybe once in a while. And this all builds up to one massive event film. Something huge, something that actually makes fans go, damn, Star Wars is back. This is sick. But that's not what happened. Instead, we got 5 shows in a year. Most of them rushed. Most of them completely forgettable. I couldn't even tell you what happened in Ahsoka and Mando Season 3. So how are we going to fix this? We need to go somewhere way better than where we are right now. Slow down. We don't need 3 shows a year. We need one big project at a time that actually means something with actual hype built up. Stop making unnecessary shows. Skeleton Crew might have been fine for kids, but why is it even a priority? Give us something meaningful instead, like a proper Knights of the Old Republic show or a Vader series showing his prime between episodes 3 and 4. Make Star Wars feel big again. Right now, Star Wars feels small because we're seeing too much of the galaxy too fast. We need mystery again. We need stakes. It's what we build up in our imagination is what makes Star Wars so special. Focus on characters that matter, like Din Djarin, Luke Skywalker, Anakin, Vader, Thrawn, Boba Fett, Kenobi, Ahsoka, but in the right way. These characters are people, these are characters that fans care about, not some random kids lost in space. Disney needs to understand that expanding the galaxy means nothing if we don't care about the characters we're following. So at the end of the day, Skeleton Crew isn't the worst thing to come out of Star Wars, but it's still unnecessary, and I still have a salty taste in my mouth from all the other shows, and it just keeps building up. It's just another filler show designed to keep people subscribed to Disney Plus, rather than investing in the franchise, and that's the biggest problem with Star Wars right now. There's no hype anymore. Like, I probably saw one trailer for Skeleton Crew, and nobody talked about it. There's no trust. I didn't even finish the show. I got 3 episodes in, and I just got so bored, because even in the episodes, they just throw so much filler at you. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you agree that Star Wars needs to slow down a bit and focus more on quality over quantity? Would you rather have fewer but better shows and movies? Or do you think Disney's current approach is great? Let's talk about it. I'm always curious to hear what you guys think. Talk soon.
Yes. Don't touch anything.